Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and welcome back. We have a few questions online. Faiz from India.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you, Sheikh?
I'm doing well, Jazakallah khair. What can I do for you?
Okay, Sheikh. Sheikh, I have one question. My question is, in the Quran, in Surah Al-Najm, chapter number 53, verse number 39 and 40, what does that verse actually mean, Sheikh?
Read it for me.
I'll just say the word. Yes, Sheikh, sure. It says that, and that there is not for man except that good what which he strives. The next verse is, and that his effort is going to be seen. So, Sheikh, what does this verse mean? And does this verse mean, like it says, like whatever the good we strive? Suppose if I'm getting evil thoughts, like, I want to commit sin, but, I force myself to, I say to myself, no, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching me. I should not act on my evil thoughts. And I quickly, I make an effort, get out from that place. And I make an effort. And so will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward me for that effort on the day of judgment?
Okay, I will answer inshallah. Ismail from the US.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh, ya Sheikh.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
Yeah, Sheikh, one question. Sometimes it's very hard to find a government job in some Muslim countries without paying a bribe. Is it permissible to pay a bribe in that case if it's impossible to get that job?
Where's Jazakum? Okay. And Sajid from the UK. Sajid.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
Yes, Sheikh. My question is, how do we respond to people that say stealing is permissible? Because some people, they use the fatwa of Ibn Uthaymeen when he said that we can kill women and children in jihad.
Okay.
So how do we respond to people that say this?
I will answer inshallah. Labib from Bangladesh.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
Can you listen to me, Sheikh?
Come again?
Can you listen to me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay, then. My question is, what is the ruling on getting a head massage from the barber or from the salon? Here some da'is give a fatwa that it is not permissible. Now, this is confusing me because they say that there will be fitna. Now, the question is, Sheikh, getting from the same gender, it is permissible to touch the same gender.
Okay,
so
I will answer you. I will answer you, Labib, inshallah. Nariman from Lebanon.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Assalamu
Sheikh, my question is regarding the hijab. There are many women who don't wear the hijab, especially in the Arab countries. When you ask them, like, why don't you wear the hijab, or you try to give them da'wah, they always have two specific answers, which are either I'm not convinced by it yet, or they say Allah has not guided me yet. So I'd like to know, what would you say to such people, and what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, I will answer inshallah. And finally, Mahwish from the US.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, so I wanted to know, there are several sisters who, Allah guides them and they want to wear the hijab and the abaya, but this causes a lot of chaos in their households. Like, it's to the extent where the mother and the father fight and they yell at her all the time, and it gets to the point where the father may even say something bad about Allah, and they don't let her wear the abaya. They won't let her leave the house like that. They won't let her wear the niqab. So what to do in this case?
Okay, I will answer inshallah. So, Ghada from Saudi Arabia, she says that a sister of hers died, and there is this concept of, and this is taken from movies mainly, that they're watching over us. Your mom is going to be proud of what you're doing. Your father is guarding you, etc. All of this is nonsense, and believing in it can be sort of shirk. When you think that your father's soul is guarding you and protecting you, this is shirk. Only Allah Azza wa Jal guards you, subhanahu wa ta'ala. As for the concept of the dead knowing what is happening on earth, it's an issue of dispute. Some scholars say yes, but the most authentic opinion is definitely no. Why? Because it was the Prophet himself, alayhi salatu wasalam, who said that I'll be the first one to reach the pool where people come and drink from. And there will come people from my followers to drink from it, but the angels stop them and prevent them from doing so. So I would cry and say, oh my Lord, my ummah, my followers, my nation. And I will be told, you, Muhammad, do not know what they had done after you. And this is the punchline. You do not know. Which means that the Prophet ﷺ does not know what is happening at the moment on earth. He's not watching what's happening on earth. And by the way, this is not only an authentic hadith, this is a mutawatir hadith. This is the highest level of authenticity. So the Quran is mutawatir, and there are a handful of hadiths that are also mutawatir that no one doubts about them. And one of them is the hadith of the pool, or al-hawt. So the Prophet doesn't know. And this refutes those who say that the Prophet is hazir, nazir, and he controls the universe as he controls the palm of his hand, etc. All of this nonsense. Not true. Blatant lies. But people are taught this in their masjids, in their institutions, in their colleges. And this is why they grow up on such corrupt aqidah. So the dead don't know what's happening. They do not see what is happening. And hence, such a feeling would be more negative than motivational. And people are supposed to abide by the Quran and Sunnah and do not accept such thoughts. Asadullah from Canada says, there is a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ talks about whoever prays night prayer, reading 1,000 verses. So there is a hadith which says whoever prays 10 verses, he won't be among the heedless. لم يكن من الغافلين. And whoever stands up for night prayer of 100 ayah, he will be among the qaniteen, those who prolong their standing reciting the Quran. And those who offered 1,000 ayahs, 1,000 verses, they will be registered as al-muqantareen, those who have wagons and lots of treasures and etc. with them, which is a very highly rewardable thing. Is this authentic? Definitely it is. Is the Fatiha one of them? The Fatiha is 7 verses. So can it be considered part of it? I have no idea. My own feeling, my own inclination would be no, because the Fatiha is a pillar. So without it, the prayer is invalid. These 10, 100 and 1,000 verses of the Quran should be something external than the pillars of the Salat, and Allah knows best. Fez from India says, the verse of Allah where it says, وَأَلَّيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى وَأَنَّ سَعْيَهُ سَوْفَ يُرَى in Surah An-Najm, these are crystal clear that you, on the Day of Judgment, will only be accountable for what you have offered and what you have done. I'm not accountable for the sins of my neighbor or the sins of my daughters if I did not facilitate it for them. I'm not accountable for the crimes that my parents have committed. So the only thing that I'm accountable for are my own good deeds and bad deeds. Your thoughts, whether they're intrusive, whether they're whispers, whether they are whatever, no matter how bad they are, as long as they remain in your head and you don't talk about it and you don't act upon it, there is no accountability on that, and Allah knows best. Ismail from the US says, some countries, third world, fourth, whatever, when you apply for a government job, they will not give you, they will not allocate this unless you put something from under the table, a bribe. And unfortunately, this is prevailing in a lot of these countries. And unfortunately, a lot of them are Muslim, which tells you that the caliber of Islam in such countries. Because Islam fundamentally and religiously fights such corruption. To the extent that the Prophet ﷺ said, لَعَنَ اللَّهُ الرَّاشِيَ وَالْمُرْتَشِي. May Allah Azza wa Jal curse the one who gives the bribe and the one who receives it. And I remember once in a Friday khutbah, it was about bribery, and I said, the Prophet said, so and so, may Allah curse the one who gives a bribe and who takes a bribe. And I say, oh Allah, curse everyone among us who gives a bribe or takes a bribe. And not a single person of the 2,000 attending the Jum'ah said Ameen, which shows you that, whoa, we have a problem. And this is problematic. Now, scholars said that if you have a legitimate right of yours that you cannot attain without bribing, and this is beyond your ability, you've tried your level best and there's no open door, in this case, to attain your right or to protect yourself from such injustice, you may pay a bribe. Now, when it comes to government positions, if this is the norm and everybody who's qualified or not qualified pays a bribe, then in this case, if you're qualified, you may do this, and Allah Azza wa Jalla knows best. Sajid from the UK says that we have people that say that it's permissible to steal money from the non-Muslims. And this is, unfortunately, prevailing in such countries, non-Muslim countries. Why? Because the governments try to block anything that is authentic and real and in accordance with the Quran and Sunnah from coming their way. They fight Islam, they fight niqab, they fight hijab, they fight segregation between the sexes, they fight anything they can fight that is related to Islam. When you do this, as a result, you will have this type of people who would say that killing the disbelievers is okay, stealing the money of the disbelievers is okay, borrowing in riba and then not paying it back is okay, and they start to justify every evil action just because these are non-Muslims. While if they were to allow the Muslim scholars to come and preach and teach and opened the people's eyes on the beauty of Islam, none of this would have happened. Now, in my class last week, I think, who cares, about the Islamic faith, aqidah, we spoke about this concept that every kafir by default is halal to hurt and to take his money. And I said that this is not true. That the kafirs are 4 categories mentioned in the books of fiqh, and in a 5th category that is not mentioned, but it's known by default. So there is the dhimmi, who is living in our country, Muslim countries, and paying taxation. There is the musta'man, and he is from an enemy country, but is been given a permission to do a certain errand, like ambassadors, etc., and then leave. There is al-mu'ahad, who their country and ours, they have a pledge of or a treaty or not to attack one another. We don't have enmity, but we have this pledge, like the majority of all countries worldwide. And there is the harbi, and the harbi is a person belonging to a country that is fighting us. There are enemies. This harbi, who are our enemies, we will not go and kiss on the cheek. He is our enemy. We have fights and wars one another. This is the one who is halal, ad-damu wal-mal. But all others are not. And likewise, if there's a country that we don't have any diplomatic relationships, but we're not at war with, so he's neither a dhimmi or a mu'ahad or a musta'man, we cannot transgress or attack or abuse or harm, because he has not shown us any type of hostility or enmity. And therefore, we do not fight with such a person. But they don't allow scholars to come and teach the people, and this is what they are planning for, and Allah knows best. Labib from Bangladesh, what's the ruling on a hairdresser, same gender, giving me a head massage? And they say that there is fitna. If the guy is not gay, if he's not homosexual, if he's a normal dude like you, there's no problem in that, akhi. And forget what these people say, they don't know. If it's a normal person giving you a massage on your head or scalp or your shoulders or whatever, this is totally legit and halal. Nariman says, women say, Allah did not guide me yet to hijab, or I'm not convinced. Well, they have a problem with Islam. These women have a problem with Islam because Allah is not asking you or seeking your permission. Allah is commanding you. Either you say, I submit my will, so I'm a Muslimah, or you say, well, this is negotiable. Give me time to think it over. You're not a Muslim. Not that I'm saying that because you're not wearing hijab, you're a kafir. I'm talking about attitude. When you come and think that I have the right to reject whatever Allah has mandated because I'm not convinced. So I'm not convinced that stealing your wallet is haram. So it's okay, I can do that. No, Muslims submit. If you don't submit, you're not a true Muslim. Mehwish says, a similar question, but for girls and women who accept Islam, want to practice, but find problems resulting from that in their own household. So the parents are fighting, cursing, maybe physically abusing. What to do? In short, because we have like 30 seconds left, every person has his own test. So your test is with such abusive parents or family who do not endorse your hijab or approve of it. You could have another test of ovarian cancer or breast cancer. Or you can live in a war-torn country where you find barrels of bombs falling and burning your family and you cannot do anything about it. You can be living in a place where is famine struck and you don't have water to feed your children or your siblings. You could be anywhere. So each person, Allah is giving a test according to their belief, and according to the result, they will end up in paradise or in hell. So all what you can do is be diplomatic, be patient and tolerant, but remain steadfast on Islam. Do not compromise your religion, no matter how heavy and serious the pressure is. And with the grace of Allah, you will prevail because Allah is with you. This is all the time we have until we meet tomorrow, less than 24 hours, inshallah, at 4 o'clock Mecca time, PM. Until then, I leave you fi amanillah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.